Steve Alcorn's a fine investigator. What he's doing with this Chris dude, I have no idea.
I gave her cigarettes for our anniversary one year.
There you go. That's fucking romantic.
She didn't like gifts. I said, well, I want to get you something. What do you want? Just give me a couple packs of cigarettes. So I wrapped them up and gave them to her.
Yeah, have some lung cancer.
You got a dead Bigfoot that's just been shot, hanging upside down in a tree. Though Meldrum was also careful to note, it's not a course about Bigfoot.
It's a course about Fozzie Bear. Who's Fozzie Bear? Some say his father was half grizzly. Nobody believed he was real. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a Muppet. To me, that was better than being president of the United States.
They upped my meds last night, so anything's possible. We're laughing at a story about dead people. I can't explain it, but it sure makes me feel like the spirits are happy.
I mean, I guess you could say it might have been somebody's hand moving real quick, but it's not a fucking ghost.
The jury's still out on that.
See, your hoaxes come at you with smiles. They come as your friends.
Pope Francis says doggy heaven is real, so your dog has a soul.
Ah, so now the dogs can hang out with the pedophiles.
Not Benedict, Francis, Pope Francis.
No, I'm just guilt by association, Steve.
Yeah, that's probably true. That's what they say when they talk about me and you.
Yeah, there you go. There's a shark in the water! Shark!
You
Everybody
okay?
freak out. Somebody fucking call Brody. Somebody call Chief Brody.
Is that like a reference to Baywatch or something?
I'll catch that fish for you, Chief.
No, it's not a Baywatch reference.
She can't stay down with 2 barrels in her.
That's a Jaws reference, right?
Go fuck yourself, Alcorn. Like, it took you
I
that
don't
long
know.
to get to Jaws? Really?
Well, Baywatch was the first thing that came to
The
my mind.
movie that fucking started the summer blockbuster. Jaws.
I haven't seen it.
You got city hands, Mr. Hooper, from counting money your whole life.
I really haven't seen Jaws.
You have not
that
seen
sounds- I
fucking
mean, what
Jaws.
was it last week?
Like, no, you need seriously to sit down with your woman and watch Jaws.
Why don't you make me a list of all these classic movies that I should have seen but haven't?
Especially the classic ones, man. Like, fuck all the other shit. Just the classics. Like, Jaws? Really?
No,
Like,
I haven't seen it. I've
if your
seen
name's
clips of
Fred
it.
Dunn, I get it. You know?
Well, Fred's afraid of sharks, but
Yes. Yes.
I'm not. I mean, I'm never going to be anywhere near a shark, so I'm not very afraid of them.
But yeah, supposedly, which we will get into later, there was a great white shark sighting off the coast of Maine, not far from where I live.
Lots of sharks in the news this week.
I have to be deathly afraid now because I live, like fucking 45 minutes inland.
Those sharks.
Sharknado,
Land shark.
Steve. Listen, Sharknado. That's all I gotta say.
Well, I remember Land Shark from Saturday Night Live.
No,
He'd come and
Sharknado.
knock on your door.
Sharknado, motherfucker. No, it's all about the Sharknado.
Of course, I haven't seen Sharknado. That movie got such bad reviews that even if you put that on the list, I'm not watching it.
I haven't seen Sharknado, Steve, but at least I know the Sharknado references, I mean, like, I get there
that,
could be a Sharknado.
Right.
Could, a tornado could possibly, Steve, touch down. And then it wouldn't be really a tornado. I think it's called what?
It would be a water spout.
A water spout off the coast of Maine. Mm-hmm. And let's just say that great white sharks are feeding off the coast of Maine, and it deposits them in my front door.
But then it's on land, so it's kind of harmless, not? I mean,
it's got a few minutes. It's got a few minutes,
around.
Steve, where there's water around it, and it can bite you. It's pretty dangerous.
Okay.
It's a Sharknado,
All
Steve.
right.
It's a Sharknado.
It's just gonna flop around, and, you know, kind of. I mean, I don't want to make the reference, but a fish out of water, really.
Yeah. But
I go with land shark.
You know, based on the fact that there was this sighting, I think it was today or yesterday. It may have been Saturday. We're going to cover the news story itself later on in the program. If you'd like to stay tuned, it's what we call a teaser.
We have a strip club locally called Teasers.
For those of you that don't know, Steve did college radio and still has no idea what dead air is. And when I throw shit to him, he just lets it sit there.
I'm going to blame it on the delay of the internet.
The internet. Yes.
Yeah,
The delay of the internet. Yes. That's always a good one. So, yeah, I caught this story. I sent it to Steve about the shark sighting. And I said we should do Maine sea serpent sightings or, water bullshit. And we came across a couple of different things. I found a pretty interesting website, which I'm going to pop up a couple of things from, which I'll throw the link down underneath the video, like I do with the news for this as well. And there's only a couple of these that I was going to cover out of this story or out of this post, webpage, whatever the fuck it is, but I don't know what it is. eTravelMaine.com. eTravel. The first one that I was going to cover, and I grew up with this.
You grew up with a sea serpent?
I grew up with a sea serpent, Steve. Listen,
Huh.
I had a sea serpent. We bonded, much like dragons and their riders in the Dragon Riders of Pern series. You have no fucking
That
clue
sounds like
what that is.
Oh, today being Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day, by the way, Steve.
Yeah, happy Father's Day, Chris. It is 6:08 in the evening, p.m. And my son just now messages me, happy Father's Day. So, thanks, Zach.
Hey, he's on the ball, Steve.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
So, no, that sounds like a great idea for a Disney movie. Has there ever been one? Bonding with a sea serpent?
I don't know.
That would be pretty cool.
I don't know.
I bet you there. It seems to me that there was.
Much like Andre, I bonded with the sea serpent.
I'd love to hear that story.
No. I grew up in a town called Buxton. Anyone who has seen the movie The Shawshank Redemption, when he refers to, have you ever been to Buxton, Red? That's where I grew up.
That's a movie I actually saw.
Well, hey, kudos to you, motherfucker.
Hey.
So I grew up in Buxton, and Buxton is the Saco River runs through Buxton. And the big thing when I was growing up was the curse, the Saco River curse, or the curse of the Saco River, put on the Saco River by a tribe of Indians. Now, the way I had heard it, before I even read this, and I haven't even read the page yet, I just popped it up. It popped up a couple of things, reminded me of this, gave me another idea. So, hey, I fucking went with it. We fly by the seat of our pants. If anybody hasn't fucking figured that out yet, you're not a fan of this show.
Right.
So I grew the story as I grew up with it was that there's a curse put on the river, and the river would take 2 white men every year. Steve?
2?
2. Yes, Steve. Yeah.
Just 2?
Just 2.
No, like Native Americans, no African Americans, just white men.
Supposedly just white men. It was like the curse on the white men for, you know, whatever. I don't fucking know. But that's the way.
Probably for taking the country away.
That's the way that we heard it growing up. So, and you got to understand, like, I grew up, I am supposedly, and actually my father had told me today that he sent his DNA away to get tested to find out our exact lineage. And it'll be on his side, but that's the side that's more in question. But we're supposed to have Native American blood. Now, according to the legend, if you had Native American blood, how we heard it, if you had Native American blood, you were safe. Safe. Oh, yeah.
Good.
Fucking you slip one past the goalie. Now, I don't know if it was a percentage thing, you know, if the curse was, played the numbers.
Here's what I want to know, Chris. How does the curse itself know what blood you have?
I don't know, but anyway, so that we can have like an actual good idea of this story. Now, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know the validity of this story. I'm taking it from this webpage. If anybody wants to look into it anymore, like I said, I will post the link to it underneath. You can look into it. But I do know that this was a legend, a thing when I was growing up in and around the Saco River. And we used to play and swim in the Saco River quite a bit.
And you were safe because you had Native American blood. So.
I'm fucking safe. I'm safe, Steve. It's free pass. It's like a fucking get out of jail free card.
Good.
So anyway, the story goes like as such, and I'm reading this from the website. The legend of the Saco River curse and the amphibious monster that lives in the river goes back to 1547. See, now, I had never heard of the amphibious monster. I had only heard that there was a curse and the river would take people.
There's got to be something in the river that takes people.
Well, maybe not, Steve. It's just the river demon. You know, the
angry river.
Yeah, sure. A tribe of Indians lived on Saco Island, and they worshipped a river monster. I never heard this one either. I heard it just different. One night in that year, 3 drunken sailors paddled over to Saco Island, kidnapped a mother and child, and tossed them off the Saco Falls. Oh, yeah, this is the whole bullshit where it actually goes down. Okay, sorry. I'll read this again. One night in that year, 3 drunken sailors paddled over to Saco Island, kidnapped a mother and child, and tossed them off Saco Falls, believing that they'd survived the fall. They didn't. The husband just happened to be... Of
course not.
The husband, Steve, just happened to be the tribe shaman, and he put a curse on the water, asking the river monster to kill 3 white... Oh, it's 3 white men. 3 white men a year. The curse apparently worked. The waterfall was replaced with a dam and hydroelectric power station in the mid-1900s. The river monster, sometimes called the white monkey. I'm going to leave that right there for a second. The white monkey.
I like.
For his human-like appearance. Is this an aquatic ape?
Ooh.
Yeah, we might want to look into this some more, Steve. Maybe I should do a bedtime story on this bitch.
Yeah.
But with webbed hands has been seen several times since 1547. The most recent was in 1970. In the 1820s, Joseph Smith, the 12-year-old, saw the river monster. He would later go on to establish the Mormon Church.
Ah, well, there you go. We've gotten to the bottom of that.
The origin of most river monsters and sea serpents is unknown, but believed to be of earthly origin. There are hints that the white monkey may be an exception with extraterrestrial alien ties.
Well,
the amphibious river creature has never been caught or captured on film. Oh, fuck. Listen, I seriously had not read that story until just that moment. I popped this fucking thing up, saw him on there. I'm blown away.
So even at the age of 12, Joseph Smith was a little bit, well, let's say, out there.
was allegedly spewing bullshit?
I don't want to go that far. I mean, we have some Mormon listeners, probably. Not.
If we do, we don't anymore.
We could do a whole show on the origins. I think I said it right that time.
I think you did. I think you made it. I think you made it through, Steve. Fox Mulder.
There are some quite interesting stories behind that, but this is about river monsters, so we're gonna go with river monsters.
River monsters.
But I did not know Joseph Smith allegedly saw a white monkey, a white water monkey.
White monkey.
That's good stuff.
That I had never heard of it referred to that. Like seriously, when I was growing up, it was just the curse on the river. Like the river would take, and I'm pretty sure I heard two. I could be wrong, and I could be remembering it wrong. It's been a long time since I've heard anybody talking about the curse. It was something we talked about when we were kids.
Well, like all stories and legends and myths and things like that, it changes over time to fit the needs of whoever's saying it, so you probably did hear two, but according to that website, it was three, and they were white.
Oh, yeah, it gotta be white. And like I said, I don't know if the white monkey played the percentages as far as like white blood to Native American blood. I don't know if you were 50-50, you were cool, but if you went, 75-25 in favor of the white blood, if the white monkey was like, fuck you, I don't know.
I'm guessing, Native Americans have a certain appearance, full-blooded Native Americans, and white people have a certain appearance, and I'm guessing just judging by appearance, the white monkey would figure out. This is a
curse. No, Steve, this is a curse by a shaman. Shamans aren't that stupid, are they?
No, shamans...
They can make fucking DMT with like mixing fucking grass and tree bark and some leaves, and they make you drink it and you shit yourself and puke and you see all kinds of funky shit.
Shamans can do anything. So maybe they figured into the curse the percentages at that time. When he first did it, he's like got his little abacus out. What did they have?
I don't know. I'm asking the fucking question because I don't know. I am a percentage Native American.
Right, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're safe because
from the white monkey.
Your appearance is more of a white man. So if the white monkey or the curse itself can't tell the difference.
Have you seen me after a summer in the sun, motherfucker?
Well, then maybe, I guess. I'm part Native American as well. My grandmother was
one of my sisters shows it way more than I do. Like she literally, if she steps outside in the summertime, she turns brown. It's almost that instant. I can remember her being a kid and literally she'd go outside and she'd be brown.
Now I wonder if you had to be from that particular tribe.
Technically, from what I understand, I was from the tribe of Indians where that whole thing went down. But I have ties. Well, that means, Steve, that I have ties to Joseph Smith.
Only because of he was in that area.
Because of a white monkey, like Steve. Because of a white monkey, yes. A white devil monkey.
It all started with a white devil monkey.
I think this means that I should become a member of Islam.
How do you get Islam out of all that?
Isn't that where Malcolm X went?
Okay, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm tracing my roots back, Steve.
You're tracing them pretty far back to like Adam and Eve there.
Well, I mean, seriously, like everybody's getting on this Rachel Dolezal chick because she identified as being black. Technically, didn't we all come from Africa?
Science says so, I believe.
All right, so it's not really a stretch to say that you identify with being African.
No. But she passed herself off as something she wasn't. So and then became the president of that chapter of the NAACP.
I think it makes a great movie, Steve. And I'm pretty sure they made it already, but with a white guy.
I'm guessing it's already being written.
It was called Soul Man, in case anybody's missed it.
I missed it.
You didn't see Soul Man?
No.
God, what is wrong
Why would
with
I
you?
watch? Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I've seen Rain Man.
Oh, my
Is it
goodness.
simple?
All right. I'm done being upset with your
So
utter ignorance.
I want to know,
What?
would the white monkey have been confused by this chick that passed herself off as a African American?
No, I'm telling you, Steve, it's a curse.
So she would have been eaten, or does it have to be guys?
Absolutely, absolutely no. The white monkey would not have seen her because A, she wasn't Native American. Oh, I don't know.
Right.
I mean,
Well, maybe
she
is,
could
we
have
don't
been.
know.
Although I've seen the younger pictures of her, she looks like she's got freckles. So I don't know.
Yeah, she's pretty freaking white in those younger pictures.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I think the white monkey was a curse. So I think that the shaman was pretty intelligent, possibly, maybe.
Right.
He could have been on a few too many mushrooms. I don't know. I wasn't there.
A little bit of peyote.
Wrong section of the country, Steve.
It doesn't matter. It's all Native American.
Still,
Am I stereotyping now?
Yes, you are, because it's fucking wrong section of the country. You would not be eating peyote buttons in Maine.
How do you know they didn't have like a trade route going?
That you know what, Steve? Fuck you to me. Fuck you to me, because you are absolutely right. How do I not know?
You don't know.
I absolutely don't know. You are absolutely right. They could have been pumping fucking peyote buttons right up to the fucking Indians in Maine. I don't know. Or Native Americans.
Trade,
whatever you
look
prefer.
at the drug trade today. So the drug trade back then might have been, similar,
Could have been.
underground shit.
Is it the fucking
from
Silk
Mexico.
Road?
Right.
Is that what we're talking
They
about?
beat the drums and right.
It was.
I am familiar with
it was a real fucking road.
Right. Made out of silk.
Sure, why not? Maybe it was a yellow brick road.
If you look into the history, though, there was a lot of trading going on back in those days, so it is possible, I guess.
It's possible.
But you are right. I was wrong because I have no clue about Native American history, even though I am part Native American.
Well, All right. So the other thing that we wanted to talk about to stay on target. Stay on target.
Yeah, like that'll ever happen.
Yeah, on this show. Which I had noticed on this site was Cassie, which is the sea serpent of Casco Bay. So basically the Loch Ness monster of Casco Bay. And I tend to buy into sea serpents or sea monsters more when they have access to the open ocean.
Absolutely. That makes more sense.
Now, Jay, when he had come on the show, said something about the fact that there is access to the loch in Loch Ness. And that there is a possibility of something, coming in and going out. So I'm kind of, I guess, a little more in based on that. I don't know what it is, or what it could be that's going on over there. But possibly maybe a little more in, and I'm very skeptical. But I do like the idea of something like this where it's out in the open ocean, because the ocean is huge. We find new species of animals on land all the time. And we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the ocean and what is in it.
Well, you'd think a sea serpent or something, because they're generally reported as quite large. Something of that size would have to be, I would assume, closer to shore than something smaller that could, wouldn't need to feed as much. So it is possible that these sorts of things do come inland to some of these small lakes and things of that nature once in a while. So it isn't beyond the realm of possibility.
Yeah, and I had never really heard much about. I'd heard something about one scene down in Old Orchard Beach. We did a story on that one. It was actually like I think the story that we did was actually in reference to an old sighting. It was like bringing it up
Right.
again. I'd heard about that one. I had vaguely heard about Cassie, but I'd never really taken much interest in it. I was never a big one for, sea monsters until I really got an understanding of how vast the ocean is.
Right.
And once I got an understanding of how vast the ocean actually is and how little of it we've seen, it's baffling. And I hate going in the ocean. The first time I got married, I went on a cruise down in the Caribbean. And my ex-wife is into scuba diving. And she had wanted to go. She had wanted me to go scuba diving, but I wasn't into going scuba diving. For one, it was costly even to do the little renting stuff and doing all that. But I was like, all right, we'll go snorkeling. And I went snorkeling and I saw some cool stuff. It was interesting. It was all right. But I'm good with doing that. I don't. If I never go in the ocean again, I'm good.
I'm right there with you.
There are tons of
I'm
things
okay with it.
that live in the ocean that can move way faster than me. They can they maneuver a lot faster than me. Like, I am an infant standing on the ground amidst the wolves. In my mind, when I step into the ocean.
See, it's not the creatures in the ocean that bother me, because I'm pretty close to shore 99% of the time. It's the ocean itself. Because the last time I was in the ocean, I got caught in a rip current, and that fucking sucked, man. I thought I was dead. Luckily, I figured out how to get out of the current on my own, because there was no lifeguards on the beach or anything like that. So, because it was a private beach, and oh my God. So that's what scares me about the ocean. So if I never even see the ocean again, I'll be all right with it.
No, I see, and like I said, I enjoyed going snorkeling, and I saw a lot of cool stuff. I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. For one, right. I'm used to Maine water for ocean, and it's cold up here, and it was like bath water down there. But like I said, if I never do it again, if I never have that experience again, I'm fine with it. I don't like the idea of being in a humongous fish tank that's vast and can contain all kinds of things that I don't even know about that exist yet. Along with all the things that we do know that exist in the ocean.
I wonder what the percentage of undiscovered oceanic animals there are. I'm guessing that we probably only scratched the surface on what actually exists in the ocean. So the sea serpent thing is very plausible, I guess. I mean, there was a lot of it's odd though that we don't hear as many reports nowadays as we did like in the 1800s. There were in the 1700s when they were coming to this country and stuff. You'd hear reports of them all the time, but nowadays we don't hear that often.
Yeah,
except the Loch Ness Monster and things like that. But
I'd be very interested as we explore the ocean and or oceans, what we find as we go. For life underneath the water. It's
right.
Because it's just, like I said, it's so vast. There's so many different places for life to live. We find life living in weird locations and weird conditions on land as well.
Right.
So I'm really curious, and I think there's going to be a lot of very interesting discoveries, and that's why I totally will buy into a sea serpent or a sea monster sighting that's based in the ocean versus one that's based out of like a lake, like Lake
A
Champlain,
landlocked type lake.
or the Loch Ness monster, or the one over in, what is it? Is it British Columbia? No, one of the ones on
Well,
the
even
other
Lake
side.
Erie, I live right on Lake Erie. Even we have a legend of a lake monster.
You still live on
But
Lake Erie?
Yeah, absolutely. I can almost see it from my house. But we have a legend of, what is it, Bessie, South Bay Bessie, which is more on the Canadian side. But yeah, it's here. But it's hard to buy into that sort of thing unless it's a relic from when, these lakes, the Great Lakes, were connected to the ocean somehow. So, yeah, because there's no real way for it to get into Lake Erie unless it was always there. I don't know.
I'm going to have to, the next time I talk to Jay Cooney, ask him about the white monkey.
The white monkey.
I'm going to have to ask him about the white monkey. And by the way, Steve, since now that we know that these are cryptids of my state,
Yeah, right.
I'm behind these cryptids. These are two cryptids I can get behind. The white monkey, because it's it's my heritage. It's a Native American thing. And Cassie, which is in the fucking ocean. So I can get behind that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Cassie hasn't been seen since, what's it say, June of 1958.
The last reported
So-
sighting, but supposedly it's been seen since
Right.
then.
So is it still there? I mean, did it exist in the first place? Were they misidentifying something else? I don't know.
I don't know, Steve. You're asking the wrong person.
Well, you're behind this cryptid because it's from your state.
Well, I'm just saying that I'm behind it. I'm getting behind it.
Well, you should know everything
Can
about
add
it.
this to the list. We got the Turner Beast. We got Bigfoot. Everybody's got Bigfoot. I think we figured out
Everybody's
that
got
everybody besides Hawaii. And I don't know.
I did once see a Bigfoot video from Hawaii, but there's no way. Well, some people think that Bigfoot is an aquatic ape. So when you said the white monkey, maybe it's underwater Bigfoot.
These are the things that I wonder, Steve.
Yes. And it must be white. It must be one of those white Bigfoots that they see. We have a lot of white Bigfoots in Ohio. So maybe some of them go up to Maine, for vacation or something.
Sure.
Just saying.
Do you have any fucking news?
Oh, we're done? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, like I got nothing else. Do you? I mean,
I got nothing else.
I didn't think you did, but
I didn't have anything to begin with, Chris.
yeah. I mean, we started out this show with me asking you to come into the hangout so that we could discuss what we were fucking going to talk about.
I think we did a fine job.
It's always wonderful, Steve.
It always is.
So you do have news, right?
Yes, cue the music. The story that Chris was referring to earlier is about a great white shark sighting reported in 3 Maine locations. This is from WGME.com. Wells, Portland, and Old Orchard Beach, it says. 3 great white shark sightings were reported to officials on Saturday. The first possible great white sighting was reported in Wells. Wells police said a charter fishing vessel 1.2 miles off the coast of Moody Beach reported seeing a great white shark around 1:30 p.m. Saturday afternoon. So it was yesterday, Chris.
You know how you tell the size of a great white shark, Chief? You measure from the fin to the tail.
The harbor master deployed their boat in the area to confirm the sighting, but they were unable to do so. Police said they contacted the U.S. Coast Guard and neighboring communities and made them aware of the sighting. Officials said great white sightings are not infrequent. However, the sighting at Wells was abnormal because of the time of year and the proximity to the beach. Now, this guy's name is going to be hard to pronounce, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Jaron Thibault said he was on a charter fishing boat and that he saw what he thinks was a shark. He was able to take some pictures of the fish's fin. Well, it was probably a dolphin, Chris. You get dolphins up there?
I think occasionally. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an ocean person. And I've never liked the ocean, and not big into it.
Wells Harbor Master Chris Mayo said he believes that the sighting was creditable. Is that a word, creditable? He said because an experienced charter boat captain reported the sighting, he believes it is a great white shark based on the captain's description and speed of the fish. In my time as harbor master, this is the most credible report of a large predator, Mayo said. It is Mayo's 5th year as Wells Harbor Master.
Next to Colonel Mustard.
There's a joke there somewhere. Wells police said that they will continue to try and confirm the species of shark. They said there is no danger to the public. Yeah, there's a shark in the water. No danger there. A second possible great white shark sighting was...
Those beaches will be open for the 4th of July.
A second sighting was reported to the U.S. Coast Guard in Portland at 7:45 p.m. on Saturday by Kevin Proctor. Proctor said a large fish swam under his 22-foot-long boat, and when it came up on the other side of the boat, he said he saw its fin. He said it happened 26 miles off Portland in deep water, where he and his friends were fishing for blue sharks. Around 3:05 p.m., after not catching any blue sharks, one of the 4 people on the boat said they saw something big around the back of the boat, according to Proctor. He said it went under the boat and swam alongside it. Proctor said it was roughly 6 feet away from the boat when they saw it. He said it was as long as the boat. Ooh, that's a big shark, 22 foot long. Wow. Everybody froze. We were in shock, Proctor said. Proctor described the shark as gray with a white underbelly and a vertical tail fin. He also said the blue sharks were not acting as they usually did. He said they stayed away from the boat even after the men had been baiting the water for over an hour. Some cool stuff.
I'll catch that fish
and one
for you,
more,
Chief.
One more sighting. Old Orchard Beach lifeguards are also keeping an eye out for great white sharks after a master diver swimming off Old Orchard Beach reported to Wells police that he had spotted a great white on Saturday as well. Wells police passed the message on to Old Orchard Beach. Members of the public are encouraged to report any shark sightings that are near the shore to police, and they don't give the phone number, so I guess it's probably not.
It's no big deal, Steve. It's not a big deal. Everybody's saying no, not a big deal. It's just trending on Facebook.
Yeah, and no harm to the public, but the lifeguards have
Listen, no, in all reality, like fucking a great white shark biting somebody in Maine, probably not gonna fucking happen.
Well, somewhere this week there were, I think, 2 girls who got their arms bitten off by sharks. Sharks are big in the news this week.
Listen, yeah, but chances of you getting fucking bitten by a shark going into the water, you have more of a chance of having a goddamn soda machine fall on you than you do getting bit by a shark. No, seriously, you have your chances are higher.
Areas where sharks, even in areas where sharks are more prevalent, you still have a small chance of being bitten.
They don't want to bite us for the most part.
Nah, we don't taste that good. Not to them anyhow.
But it's a cool story.
Yeah. Another story from Maine, Chris. This one's from openminds.tv.
What the fuck's going on in Maine, Steve?
Witness,
do I have to become Fox Mulder? Can I wear the trench coat?
So, because there's some creepy shit going on in your state. A Maine witness at Orrington, driving north along Route 15, reported watching a
If I can
triangle-shaped
fuck
UFO.
Gillian Anderson, I am all in with being Fox Mulder.
All right.
Okay.
Slightly above the treetops, just after 9 p.m. on June 13th. According to testimony in case number 66464 from the Mutual UFO Network, witness reporting database. Ooh, that sounded weird coming out of my mouth. Database. The witness had just left Snow's Corner gas station. That sounds like a cool place.
Yeah.
In Orrington, when the object was noticed 100 to 200. You ever been to Snow's Corner gas station, Chris?
I may have. I don't know. I've been in a lot of places in Maine.
See, here's the thing. I tell people I'm from Pennsylvania when I was from Pennsylvania, or I'll tell people I'm from Ohio now, and they'll say, well, do you know this person? Because they live on the other side of the state from you. Fuck no, I don't know who they are. It's a big fucking state. So you've probably never been to Snow's Corner gas station. But I hear it's a popular place.
I used to
UFO
but I used to deliver all over, so I'm not like I haven't looked at a map, so I don't know where Orrington is or whatever right off the top of my head. But I used to deliver all over Maine and New Hampshire and Massachusetts. So the chances of me having gone to a store is very probable, but I'm not saying that I have. So continue with your cool little story.
I don't know. This guy witnessed a triangle UFO. Oh, the witness described the object. I saw a bright teal object slightly above the trees to the northeast, going slightly above the treetops, then dipping below with some lateral motion back and forth as it did. It was triangular, but had a round shape with smaller circles underneath. It illuminated a teal color, seemingly from within, as the surface glowed teal. He likes that color, with black features on it. Teal and black. Sounds like a pretty cool looking UFO. The witness had just left Snow's Corner gas station in Orrington when the object was noticed 100 to 200 yards away from his turn off to the right, just before the Orrington Brewer town line. The witness had just... We already read that. Why is this sentence in this story twice?
I don't know.
It's there. I could show you. I could do a screenshot of my computer. It's there twice.
I'm good.
But anyway, yeah. The witness described a movement in the object. At one point, it tipped slightly away, and I could see the bottom of the object. Lastly, it went below the trees one last time, and I did not see it again. This sighting lasted less than 1 minute, but more probably less than 30 seconds. I pulled over in my truck and tried to see it from the next road down from mine, but could not. I then parked my truck and went inside to grab my 10 by 50 magnification binoculars and ran back to Route 15 and walked down to the train tracks that go across Route 15 in Brewer, paralleling the river, but the object was no longer visible. The witness described the object as triangular, but with a round shape with smaller circles. The witness wondered if the object might have been a drone. I thought I might find some people outside using a drone of some sort, but there was no one outside that I saw. There also was no differentiation in color scheme to the lights to indicate a bow or stern or port or starboard configuration for night flying. For those who want to know, Orrington is a small town on the, is it Penobscot River estuary? Is that how that's said? Penobscot?
Penobscot.
And Penobscot. Okay, I got it wrong. Whatever. Population 3,733.
Sounds
please
good
remember,
to me, Steve.
Please remember. This is the best part of any UFO story I've ever read, Chris. This last sentence. Please remember that most UFO sightings can be explained as something natural or man-made. I like that they put that in there.
Yeah, because it probably was.
Yeah, probably was.
Probably was.
Speaking of the best question I've ever heard, I was reading something from Ken Gerhardt the other day, and he asked a question in one of the ghost groups, I believe it was. He's like, how come, if ghosts are supposed to be the, spirits of people who died, how come we only see, like, the last couple centuries of people, people dressed in, like, 1800s garbs? How come we don't see Neanderthal ghosts or, caveman ghosts?
Good point, Steve.
Good question.
Good point.
Good point. Good point. There was another. Oh, here it is. Today is the, what do you call it? The summer solstice, Chris. And from Euronews.com, they say thousands mark summer solstice at Stonehenge. That would be cool. I would love to go to Stonehenge for the summer solstice. Wouldn't that be awesome?
I'm so into Stonehenge because I've been doing my Ancient Aliens first season every night because it's the only fucking thing that's on Netflix for Ancient Aliens. So I've seen how Stonehenge is amazing like 5 million times now.
So, Ancient Aliens first season is on Netflix.
It's the only one that's
They're a little
on
behind the
Netflix.
times, aren't
They
they?
are
What are
way
they in,
behind
like,
on
their
Ancient
season
Aliens.
now?
Way
Jeez,
behind.
Anyway, it was a sleepless night for Midsummer Night's Dreamers in the UK as thousands flocked to Stonehenge to mark this year's summer solstice. According to police, up to 23,000 people made the trip to, Wiltshire, to see the sunrise on the longest day of the year, down from around 36,000 last year. So less people are interested, apparently, by over 10 grand. In astronomical terms, it marks the day when the planet is most tilted towards the sun. The stones were constructed so that that falls in the middle of them just one day a year, which happened to be this week. Fantastic. Just caught it. The sun between the stones. Brilliant, said one reveler, adding, I couldn't have asked for more. Really beautiful night. It's been great. Pretty spectacular, said another. It's one of the best sunrises that I have seen in a long while. Stonehenge is believed to have been used as a religious site by Britons 4,000 years ago. It was not until the 20th century that pagan festivities began to be held at the Neolithic ground. And they got on this website, Euronews.com, they got people from 1912, a picture of people from 1912. It's pretty cool. So even way back then, people were flocking to Stonehenge. It looks like a couple hundred people there, all on bicycles. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is a pretty cool little image, looking at the group of people now versus the group of people then. If anybody wants to check it out, I always put the links to the news stories underneath. You can click on that one, check it out.
I'll tell you what, man. It would be like one of the greatest experiences of your entire, not because there's 26,000 people there, it probably wouldn't be as great as you'd want it to be, but I think it would be a sweet experience to go to Stonehenge on the summer solstice. Kind of like going to Times Square on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to go to Stonehenge anytime, really, but yeah, it'd be very interesting to experience the summer solstice there.
But, hey, that's the news, Chris.
As always, exhilarating, wonderful, and
poorly read.
Yeah, well, I think we've come to expect that.
Yes.
This has been... Oh, fuck. What episode are we on? 79?
9?
79?
I believe so.
I think it's 79. I'm going to go 79, and I'm probably wrong, but... we'll find out.
No, I think you're right.
Of the Fortean Slip. This has been the Smoke and Mirrors on the Water episode. Do you see what I mean? What I said earlier?
I see what you did there.
If you like this shit, hit the thumbs up button. If you don't, hit the little thumbs down button. Subscribe, leave a comment. And as always, have a wonderful week. We enjoy your patronage. Check out our friend Dreadfun and Wes Losner. Good night, everybody, and good luck.